Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome back, gang. Let me know if I look okay, sound okay. It looks weird from my end. I know StreamYard's always doing new things, so just let me know. Am I taking up the full screen? I'm seeing myself, but it's like a very small screen, so I don't know what's going on with this thing. Just let me know how I sound and how I look. Normal or different? Just want to make sure this is good to roll before we start live because, like I said, StreamYard sometimes makes all these changes. So to me, things look a lot different. But to you guys, I just want to make sure everything looks the same. Darkroom Views, what's up, man? He says I look good. Check out Darkroom. Thanks, man. Okay. Vince says the same thing. Awesome, awesome. Again, it's really, really small from my end. So I'm going to do my best to read the comments. What's up, Mike? Hey, man. Thanks so much. A little super chat action. I appreciate that, man. I hope you are well. Let's give Mike a little something, something here. What am I going to do for Mike? Let's do this.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Thank you for that, my man. Thank you for that. Let's see. I can't move the damn thing. I can't move it around. It needs to stay just as is. Let's see. What's going on? 304 horror. Why is it so small for mine? This is hold on. Let me try something. No, that's not working. This is minimize. I can't make it any smaller. This is super weird. Super weird. 304 horror says popcorn check, drink check, thumbs up check. Let's go. Heck yeah, man! Hit that thumbs up. Definitely helps the channel out. And we're going to talk a little bit about Silver Scream Con 2025 just ended this weekend. I'm going to give a little recap on it, answer some questions from you guys, hang out a little bit. It's Tuesday. It's a long day for me, but I want to get this in. I love trying to go live with you guys at least once or twice a week just to keep the interaction up because you guys have been so cool with that. And I'm going to have another opportunity for a giveaway tonight, so we're going to talk a little bit about that later in the show. Black Glove Reviews. What's up, man? Go check out Chris over at Black Glove Reviews. William Cinema's in the house. You can check out William as well. That's right. Robert Redford passed today. I heard about this. That is unfortunate. I mean, he lived a good life. I will say that. What's up, Chewy? Thanks for being here. Fat the Pig Conqueror. What's going on? Happy Tuesday to you, Vanderhoff. Let's see. Adrian James in the house. Everything looks good. Thank you. Simon's in the house. He said, I watched Hider in the House last night on YouTube, and I'm obsessed. How'd I miss that one? Thanks for posting about that, Gem. The reason you missed it is because it's been MIA for so long. I mean, I think it's been stuck on VHS, to be honest with you, for a long time. I mean, that's the only way I have it. But it's Gary Busey, and it's cool to see this thing getting a little bit of a release, so it kind of gets a little bit more love. It reminded me a lot of Bad Ronald kind of in a way. Like this guy basically is like living in the attic of this family who's living in this house, and he kind of becomes obsessed with like the mother. And there's a scene with the little boy where he burns all of his like LJN figures, and it used to kind of like cause me trauma as a kid. So Hider in the House just got released today on Vestron Video. So it's going to be the newest flick in the Vestron line. I pre-ordered that sucker already. I wasn't going to waste on that because I don't think it's going to sell out or anything. But I mean, I don't know. Like this movie has been stuck for so long. I mean, the people that know it, I think are going to probably want to snag it. I definitely wanted it. Again, Lionsgate Limited. These Vestron titles are way more money than they were before, like double the price that we were paying when they were at Walmart. It sucks. I agree. But I don't have much choice. I want the movie on Blu-ray. I want to continue my Vestron line. So far, I've got every single one, and I'm not planning on stopping. So thankfully, they don't release a ton of stuff. So I will just kind of pick them as I go. But Hider in the House is a cool release just because, like I said, I'm so interested in getting more releases of like different things instead of just the constant upgrades and re-releases that a lot of these companies are doing. So that Hider in the House was a good drop. I was very happy with that. I wasn't expecting that. So definitely check it out, guys, if you want. It's not like a masterpiece or anything, but it's a fun little flick. Let me see. Motionless, what's up? Did I see the Ice Nine Kills band members? I saw them. I mean, I did not talk to them, but I saw them. I had met them before a couple of years ago and got like a poster signed and stuff, but I'd seen them there. I didn't speak to them. Great to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Mike Wolf, first year I missed Silver Scream, missed Rock and Shock, didn't have much interest at Terrifier convention. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It was very Terrifier heavy as it was last year. The horror genre is very interesting because you can tell there's like a clique or a crew now, which is cool to see because, you know, the old guard are kind of getting older now. So you get this kind of newer guard, like kind of coming up. Similar around the time when, like, you know, the Rob Zombie stuff was hitting. He had Halloween, Rejects, like they were always there. All the same cast of characters, the Haigs, the Mosleys, Scout, Danielle, Tyler Maine. Like you always saw the same cast of characters kind of show up around the same time because they were all in those movies together. This is kind of a new era now. I mean, you've got that new wave of like the Terrifier crew and people that were in those movies, and that kind of spawns off into Ice Nine Kills and, you know, that band and all the people they kind of collab with. You can tell that they're all very close, for sure. So it seems like they do a lot of combinations with Ice Nine Kills and with Terrifier now. I'm trying to think, like, is Damien, where's he from? He's not from here, right? He's not from here, is he? Damien Leone. I don't think so. So, like, Spencer from Ice Nine Kills is from here. So that's why this convention is where it is. But Damien's from New York. So that's why the convention is where it is, because, you know, that's where Spencer and Ice Nine Kills are from. They're from the Boston area, Worcester. And Rock and Shock was the convention that I was going to every year around here. It was the biggest horror convention in this area for many, many years. And what was cool about it, it was kind of like a heavy metal and horror show. Like they would do horror convention during the day, heavy metal concert at night. And it closed after COVID, and it was kind of a bit of a bummer. It was an every October event. Kind of sucked when that ended. I mean, I remember when Spencer was there every year as a vendor for his clothing line, Cleaver Clothing, I think it was called at the time. And he was just hanging out at a table as a vendor. You know, his band was around, but they weren't as big as they are now. They eventually started opening for some other bands, you know, that would perform at Rock and Shock. And now they've gotten really big and they've really hooked into the horror crowd. So now they kind of revitalize Rock and Shock under their own banner, which is called Silver Scream Con. Now, I think this is the 4th year. Yeah, so I've been every year so far. It started out in a little hotel, and it's built into like a convention center. And man, this was packed. This was packed. This was, I don't even remember Rock and Shock being this busy, to be honest with you. It was really packed, to a point where, I'll show you guys here. I was lucky enough to get a press pass. So what that means is I get all access to the event, and in return, you know, I need to do a little bit of social media stuff, right? Like, so for instance, this show, talking about the show, posting some stuff on Instagram, you know, from the show, tagging them. Like, these are things that I had to do now because of this press privilege, I guess you would say, and kind of tell you my thoughts on it. So, which was nice because I can kind of come and go as I wanted throughout the weekend with that. And I really had to kind of like pick and choose what I was going to film because it was so packed. Like, I couldn't really get to the celebrities really to do any kind of filming because it was so busy. And I had talked to people like Barbara Crampton, Greg Nicotero, and I was going to do a little bit of a short interview, talking to them, but they said, listen, can you try to come back? Like, it's just too slammed. And I was like, yeah, I'll come back. It never died out. It never died out. So that was the hard part. You know, you wanted to do a little bit of, you know, cooler things like press work or anything like that, that would be something different. I mean, I knew exactly what I wanted to talk to Nicotero about. I wanted him to talk to me about the Jason mask, and that was my whole game plan. And I just couldn't get to him to spend that kind of time with him. I talked to him, but there was people behind me in line. So, I mean, I couldn't really, stop him for 5 minutes to have a conversation on camera and then have paying customers sitting there waiting, twiddling their thumbs. It just wasn't going to happen. And, he said, I'll be happy to do it, but, can you come back when there's nobody over here and we'll do it. And I never saw that opportunity. So, that was kind of a bummer, to be honest with you. But again, it's cool to see that this convention has grown to be as big as it is. Especially because, conventions are so different than they were back then. Like, they're expensive. When I was going to these conventions, when I was going to Rock and Shock, these celebrities were charging between $20 and $40 per autograph. Now it's between 40 and 120 per autograph based on who you're meeting, right? So things have changed a lot. Then you got the photo op thing now, which they never used to have before. So like that's a whole nother business thing. You have your panels and stuff where they do a lot of Q&As and stuff like that. So I give a little rundown on the weekend. And then I have like a little montage video that I put together about some of the footage that I did snag throughout the weekend that I'll play for you guys. It's about 3 minutes of just footage from the event. So you guys get to see it here first because I haven't posted it anywhere else yet. So you'll be able to check that out. But before I start and talk about the whole weekend, I'll go back to the chat, see what you guys have to say, ask a couple questions. I'll answer them. Then I'll get back into, a quick recap of the weekend, show the video, and we can head out of here. So let's see who else is in the house. Yeah, great to see you with Killer Cross. Yes, I will talk about that. Maya, of course, I did not order the Halloween pumpkin box set. Absolutely not. I do remember when he was in TNA. Killer Cross. Vanderhoff says more people need to like this stream. Like the stream. Antonis in the house. What's up? What's playing on my TV? I'll let you guys guess. Which movie do I like better, Terminator or Terminator 2? My whole life I would have said T2, but now as an adult, I say the first Terminator is my favorite. What up, Mel? My Killer Podcast. Hit that like button, she says. Do I own the Tim Arrow releases that just came out? I don't know what you're asking me. Oh, Texas Chainsaw. What are you asking me? I have the Texas Chainsaw. Is that what you're asking me? Oh, TCM. Yes, I do. Yeah, if you're collecting the Vestrons, I would get them. Again, the hardest part of the Vestrons now is that they're exclusive to the website. So you got to go on there and then pay for shipping. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, but it's the only way to get them. You never heard of Hider in the House and you're 52 years old. Well, now's your chance, man. See, it's always fun to learn new stuff. Mimi Rogers is very good looking in that. What up, Prince? Let me see. B Mag is in the house. What is going on, man? Mike Wolf says, my old band used to play with Ice Nine Kills when they were just Ice Nine, and they used to be a ska band, 100%. It is insane to see what they've become because they were just a regular ska band that was trying to make it. When I first heard Ice Nine Kills was from an acoustic song called Jonathan. They were kind of getting a little bit away from ska. They almost kind of sounded a little more of an emo band. I don't know if they really were trying to find their own. And that was the first time I was introduced to Ice Nine Kills. It was an acoustic song called Jonathan, which was a very emotional song. And it really connected with me. Like it was a sad song about his friend who was dealing with the disease. And I loved it when I heard it for the first time. And then I kind of dug in a little bit of their library and stuff. And then their next album came out and there was a couple songs on it that were horror related and it was gotten really heavy. And so I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool band. Like, and then I kind of just kept my eye on them. And then that album that I loved, like the next album was Silver Scream, I think, and then they started to go really more all in on the horror stuff. And then after that, they had Horrorwood and stuff. And dude, they're killing it, man. They are freaking killing it right now. And I do have to admire Spencer. I mean, you know, people say sometimes he comes off a certain way. I mean, I've had no really real interaction with him to know for a fact. But what I can admire about him is he's taken something so small and something that maybe wasn't going his way for a long time. He decided he had to have a clothing brand, and then when Ice Nine Kills kind of started to get bigger, he started branching out. Now he's got the horror convention thing. You know, now he said he was coming out with like a some kind of like whiskey or something like that. So I mean, the dude is definitely a business guy. So you have to give him a lot of credit for what he's doing because he's definitely making a splash for sure. What up, Dino? Doing the community proud as always. I try, man. You know, not everybody appreciates it, but I'm glad to see that you notice. Let me see. Wet Movie One's in the house. What's up, man? He said, "Oh man, I know what you mean. Trying to get interviews. Yeah, he's the Wet Movies One's been doing this a long time, and that's kind of like, you know, now that I have this press badge and opportunity, like I think of the things that he's done, because he's been able to talk to people, and it's not easy. It's not easy. See, Rizzy, I was there, man. You know what's so funny? It was so packed that I kept getting messages all day like, "Are you here? I missed you. I haven't seen you this weekend." And it was just so busy that like I didn't see a lot of people that were there. But the people that came up to me and said, "What's up? Thank you, everybody." I just didn't have a lot of time and space to do pictures and stuff with everyone. But quite a few people came up and said, "Garrett," and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh man, I love the channel, blah blah." There was even someone outside. Somebody, I think he must have been inside. Jordan, a dude named Jordan said hi. So if you're checking this out, man, thank you. And then I apologize. I met a couple outside. I was walking back from dinner with my friend, one of the dudes from PVD Horror I was with, and we went to dinner. And right before we went to the concert, we were walking back, and a dude and his girlfriend stopped us, or his wife, and he was like, "Garrett?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my God, my girl said, 'Oh my God, is that Garrett? You know, we love the show, blah, blah.'" I apologize for what your names were, but I mean, that was so cool just on the street for people to kind of stop me like that. And again, unfortunately, like it was like this, like there was so much time crunches. Like I went from, you know, the convention to dinner ran late, then rushing back for the concert. And then inside was so packed. People were in lines, they're running around. There's not a lot of space. And, you know, that was kind of the harder part of it, right? Like trying to find an open space to kind of like chat with people. So again, everybody who did come up and say what's up, I made sure to shake everybody's hand, chat with them for like just small talk or whatever. But I do thank everybody who stopped me to say what's up. I truly, truly appreciate it. I wish we could have got pictures. I wish there was more time. That was the hardest thing about the weekend. It was just busy. So let me see. Wet Movie says, people don't realize how rare that is to actually be able to talk to people. Yeah, it's not easy, man, especially when you're at a convention that's busy. Because, you know, these celebrities, not everybody wants to talk to press. Not everybody, well, they're there for like business. You know, they're there to meet fans. They're there to get paid. So, you know, a lot of the times they'd rather see 5 more people that are willing to come up to them and, you know, buy an autograph or a picture than to sit there and chat with just some guy or girl. But yeah, it's hard, man. It's not easy. But, you know, for the ones that do sit down and give you the time is really, really cool. Motionless, do I think there's an oversaturation of horror conventions? I actually do think there's an oversaturation of horror conventions because even just this weekend alone, there was a lot of conventions, not even just horror. Like I wanted to go to Mass Minicon. Mass Minicon is a Boston-based convention where they bring in artists and they do all movie poster related stuff. My buddy Matt Ryan Tobin was here. Um, and I wanted to go see him, but it fell on the same weekend. So because I had this press badge, I had to kind of be at Silver Scream. And it's a bummer too, because like he lives in Canada. So it's the only time I get to see him is when he comes down for that event. And it was on the same weekend, which is wild, in the same area, not close. It was like, it's a while away, but like it's gravitating towards a similar audience. And not just that, but like Horror Hound was this weekend, somewhere else. And, what happens there is that a lot of these conventions end up like kind of probably fighting for guests if they're all on the same weekends. So in some aspect, I do think it's oversaturated, but at the same time, if they're succeeding, then I guess there's not going to be any reason to stop. So if everybody gets to enjoy these things, what can I say? I think the hard part is if you're a huge convention goer and you want to hit different conventions, sometimes it's hard. Like for instance, TerraCon was last weekend. Silver Screen was this weekend. Connecticut Horror Fest is this coming weekend. That's 3 weekends in a row in my area. There's a convention. And then in October, there's 2 conventions in New Jersey. And then there's a Rhode Island Comic Con. So this is convention season in the East Coast. There's so many. So what happened was, because I had so much to do for Silver Scream and I knew I was going to be gone all weekend long, I didn't make it to TerraCon like I wanted. I'm not going to Connecticut Horror Fest. So it's just because it takes a lot of your time away from regular life. So unfortunately, I'm missing on those 2 ones on the back ends because I just can't be gone another weekend. It's just, my weekends are sacred. The week is busy. So the weekend is for me to like catch up on things, to do things, to, grocery shop, to do house stuff, like spend time here. Like, and then when I'm gone, a lot of time it's hard. So to have 3 conventions in a row, all within an hour from me, not even, it's hard to get away for 3 weekends in a row. So, but Silver Scream is probably the biggest one right now in this area, I think. What's up, Wilkie? Thanks for being here. See Rizzy with a super chat. I didn't see this. He said, I had fun overall. Tom Savini was a bit cold, and the lines were crazy for some guests, but everything else was really cool. Too bad I missed you. Thank you for the super chat, man. It is funny you say that, because Tom Savini is known sometimes to be a little cold. I mean, that's kind of the MO with him. I met Tom Savini twice, maybe 3, maybe 2. The first time I was kind of newer to conventions, and it was a terrible experience. He was the first person I ran to when I got there. It was like early in the morning, not early, but the convention just opened. So I ran up to Tom Savini. I had a Planet Terror poster or something, and I had him sign it. And I was like, hey, Tom, how are you? And he goes, it's early, tired, and that kind of was like a little bit of a rough start to my convention day at that point. I was like, oh, okay. And then I met Tom Savini again years later because I wanted him to sign my Monkey Shines poster with Romero. So when I met him a second time, he was nothing but nice. So Savini's a little bit give or take. I thought he had gotten better as the years went on because he was very known for being a little bit cold or being a little bit of a dick. And I thought he had kind of changed, but I saw him there. I didn't talk to him or anything, but that's an unfortunate experience. But it's not just you, so don't think it's just you. What up, Twisted? It is Night Flyer on the TV. Nice work, guys. Tribe Called Fresh, what is up, man? See that poster, brother? Adrian James says, when's the next Radpack stream? Well, I don't know. That is something that is being worked on at the moment. Night Flyer would be an excellent release for somebody. It was packed. Saturday was craziness. Let me see. Yeah, West Coast doesn't really get as many, I don't think, do they? I did get autographs, so I'll talk about that now. So let's talk about it. So I ended up starting Friday night I went there. I worked all day Friday, left work, went to the convention. Because the convention opened Friday evening. It went to about, I think it was like 5 to 10 or something. So I went down there Friday. Now, if you know conventions, you know that Friday and Sunday are a lot slower than Saturday. Saturday's the big day. So if I was to give any kind of convention tip, I would say go Friday and get all your autographs out of the way. All of them out of the way. And then Saturday, you can use it to just kind of, maybe do some last minute autographs, hang around the vendor tables, buy stuff, walk around, talk to people, enjoy the panels. That's my tip. So when I went on Friday, there's a couple things I wanted. Number one, I knew I wanted to meet Karrion Kross. That was something I knew I wanted to do because I like him. I think he's somebody who just gets professional wrestling. I think he's going to be something bigger than he is. He gets it. So I respect that. So I wanted to make sure to meet him. He's kind of a local guy. We have a mutual friend. So I walked up to him and said, "What's up?" And I said, "Hey, I just want to say hi, man. I love what you're doing. Hope everything's going well, blah, blah, blah." I said, I'm a friend of Vinny. And he's like, "Oh, no shit." And I was like, "Yeah." And so he's like, "How's he doing?" I'm like, "Good." I was like, "You talk to him a lot?" He's like, "Yeah, I talk to him a lot." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, man, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "Man, I'm sorry to hear what happened, but it's really cool that you kind of teamed up with Cardona. You guys are doing some kind of a match or whatever." I said, "It was cool to see you run in on GCW. I think, you're going to be fine." And he's like, "I hope so, man. Like, I love WWE, but like TKO, he said TKO, I don't know what they're doing, man. And I just hope they don't do what they did to me to other wrestlers. But that, remains to be seen," kind of thing. Great guy. Very nice, very personable. You can tell he really is passionate about the business. And, people keep asking me, do I think it's a work? Do I think he's really fired? I think he's really gone. I think there's some issues there. I don't know if it's an ego thing with the WWE and him. I think maybe they see that he does have the potential, but maybe he's not a type of guy that's going to take bullshit. So maybe they don't like that. I don't know. But I do know that he's going to be fine no matter where he goes. He's a big ass dude. He's got a great look, good speaker. And he was super cool, super nice. And then he went to Scarlett, his wife, and said, "Hey, this guy knows Vinny, blah, blah." And she's like, "Oh, cool." She's like, he said, "I want to get a picture. So I want you to send it to Vinny or something." So I was like, "All right, cool." So he just called me around and we took a picture and I sent it to my buddy or whatever. And I thanked both of them and I told them to have a great weekend, blah, blah. Awesome people. Very, very cool people. So that was one of the things I wanted to do. And the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to meet Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. Now, I have met them both in the past. I've got autographs from them in the past. I've got pictures with them in the past. But this time I wanted to meet them because my buddy Matt Tobin, who was at Mass Minicon, the artist, sent me his 40th anniversary Reanimator print. So this is the variant, his variant. So he sent this my way, and I got it signed. So if you can see, I don't want to get the glare, but Barbara Crampton did it over here, and then Combs did it through here. So very cool. Now, I was talking to Shy, and because he recently got this signed too, and I was like, "Oh man, what pen did you use? What pen did you use? That looks sick." And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "They have the pens." He's like, they got the pens. So that was perfect. I didn't have to worry about buying a pen to get that green. They had the pens. And it's actually funny because when I went up to Barbara, there wasn't much of a line at that point. It was like late Friday night. So I went up to Barbara and she signed it. And I told her the story. I said, "Hey, I have a story for you." She's like, "What's up?" And I said, "I've met you a couple times." I said, "I met you last time I saw you was at Panic Fest a couple of years ago." She's like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome." Blah, blah. And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "It's kind of an inside joke, with me and my co-host on the podcast because we were all there." And we were outside after the show, and you came out and you said, "Hey guys, how did you like the show?" We said, "Good." And they're like, "Oh, great. I hope you enjoyed it." And I said, "And then you walked to your car." And I said, "I know this is going to sound weird, but I said, we kind of feel very guilty about that situation. And we kind of joke about it on the podcast because we literally let you walk around Kansas City by yourself at like 1 a.m. all the way to your car. And as it's happening, we're looking at each other and we're like, should we help her? Should we walk her to her car? Is that, you know, a noble thing for us to do? Are we dicks for not doing that? Or if we say, hey, we're going to walk you to your car, is that creepy?" So we were kind of like at a loss of what to do. So our answer was, let's just watch her go to her car and make sure she gets there safely from a distance, right? And if anything is to happen, we're going to run down there and help her out, right? That's kind of where our mindset was. So I kind of told her that story and she laughed. And she's like, "You know what? I don't remember saying anything to people outside, but I do recall me walking to my car by myself one night late." And I said, "Yeah, that was the night." And I said, "I just want to apologize for that now. I don't know what the right thing to do was." And she laughed. And she's like, "How dare you let me walk to my car by myself?" And she kind of laughed. But I thought it was kind of funny that I that I brought that story up to her. And I wish I would have filmed that, to be honest with you, because it is kind of a running gag that we talk about on the Rad Pack shows. But I didn't. And at that point, I needed to get over to Jeffrey Combs and get him to sign this thing. And then it started to get a little busy. And then up meeting up with other YouTuber Dave Durant. I met up with him. I usually meet up with him at conventions because he goes to a lot of them. I saw Mizzy. I saw Dave's girlfriend. I saw Nick. I saw his wife. I believe it was his wife he was with. Andrew was there. Tony was there. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But I hung out with those guys, the Steelbook crew, I guess you could call them, if you guys know them on YouTube. So I hung out with those guys for most of Friday evening. So we kind of hung out, walked around, just shot the shit, hung out with those guys, and then I went home. So then Saturday I went back up, and at that point, like, I didn't really need any more autographs. So I kind of had done my thing. I met Karrion Kross, met Scarlett, did my poster with Barbara and Jeffrey. I didn't really need anything. So at that point, I was like, I need to talk to Nicotero. That, like I said, I told you that story. And then everybody else that I was interested in, like everybody else that was there, like I have met them before. I have signed stuff or whatnot. Except Rose McGowan. I don't have anything from her. I was thinking about meeting her, but man, the lines were so crazy that there's people that I bet got 2 autographs and stood in line literally all day. It was nuts. It was nuts. But Saturday, even though it was super busy, I hung out with some people. So my buddy Chris McGibbon was there, so we hung out. PVD Horror was there, so we all hung out. I was introduced to a guy, Klep. So if you're watching, dude, what is going on, man? He was there. He hung out with us. And who else did I hang out with on that day? And the Steelbook crew was there again, so I hung out with them a little bit. But it was so packed, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with them. Brianna was there. She goes to all the conventions as well, so she hangs out with the Steelbook crew as well. So she was there. I saw her. She took a picture, so I saw Brianna. Yeah, and that was Saturday. We just kind of hung out all day. I tried to get footage. It was packed. So as you're going to see on the video of the footage, you're going to see how busy it was on Saturday. And then we hung out there all day. I didn't get like anything. Like, I'm looking around. I got no merch, nothing from the vendors. T-shirts, all the T-shirts from the event were $50, I think. The hooded sweatshirts were like 80. I wasn't going to get any of that stuff. I didn't get anything from the vendors. I mean, in my opinion, the vendor stuff was not the greatest at this event. I don't know what it is, but there's zero physical media. There was one physical media booth that had bootleg Blu-rays. That's it. I don't understand why a lot of these conventions don't bring in physical media companies. Archive and Vinegar Syndrome would have been there in a second. TerraVision, Severin. Like, why are we not getting these companies? Instead, we're getting a lot of people that just are promoting like their own handmade stuff, which is not a bad thing. You know, their books or candles or whatever it may be. But, you know, there was no big companies. There was no Fright Rags. Like back when Rock and Shock was there was always like Fright Rags was there. London 1988 was there. Like these bigger name merch companies were there. Lately at a lot of these conventions, it's not a lot of the big companies, at least the ones I go to. It's a lot of smaller companies, you know, stuff you can buy on Etsy and stuff like that. So I didn't end up getting any merch at all. The only thing I did buy, which I wish I would have got this with my press pass, but I didn't. I had to pay for it. Is every year they do an exclusive Fangoria magazine for the convention. So this was this year. So you have Spencer and Art on it. So this was the Fangoria magazine that you get. You had to buy it at the event. So I did pick that up as like a souvenir. And plus it's cool to have some of these exclusive Fangoria magazines from these different events where you can only get them at the event, exclusive covers and stuff. I will say this, Fangoria actually was there. Fangoria was there. So they had a booth there. They were selling like back issues and stuff. They were trying to get people to sign up for subscriptions and whatnot, but they were there. But yeah, I got this. I did pick up that. And then I got, like I said, the autographs from Barbara and Jeff. And then I just kind of walked around and hung out with people and tried to get some footage the best I could. I'm hoping I'm not missing somebody here. Oh, I know what I was going to say. And I'll get back to the chat. So in the mix on Saturday of all this crazy stuff going on, I walked up to a guy I saw. I was like, hey, did you see the wrestler that's here? And I'm like, who? Like the wrestler girl. I was like, which one? And they're like, oh, she's like here, like just walking around. And it's like, and he's like, oh, she's right there. And I turn around and it's fucking Ria Ripley. Like Ria Ripley. Like probably the biggest female name in pro wrestling right now. There. Now, I did hear that she had come on Friday to go talk to Damian Leone, which I can only think that is for Terrifier 4, because Rhea went on the record and said her dream is to be in the next Terrifier movie, or in a Terrifier movie, I should say. And you know, that's good back to them, because I mean, there's literally t-shirts at Hot Topic with Rhea and Art on the t-shirt together. How that collaboration came about, I have no idea. So she was, I guess on Friday, she kind of came in really quick, talked to Damian, took a picture with him and David Howard Thornton, and she left. And I was mind blowing because I'm like, Rhea Ripley just walking around. Saturday, same thing. She had a bodyguard kind of guy with her. Because if you guys didn't know, when she was in Paris, she was mobbed, and she was like, she gets kind of anxiety, believe it or not. And that really freaked her out. She posted about it on Twitter or something. And, you know, her just walking around like that, I will say this, people were rushing to her, but people were super respectful. They weren't hounding her. They weren't jumping in, trying to take selfies. Everybody kind of stood. She went behind a booth. She got a tattoo. And then she kind of just walked around. Now, I got pretty close to her. Unfortunately, I didn't get a selfie with her or get to talk to her or anything, but I was close to her and took a few pictures. But it was mind-blowing her being there. But it's funny because people are like, why didn't she just set up a table? WWE is weird, man. They probably have specific things where they can't just like do these kind of events unless it's WWE approved or something like that. So I think it's just one of those things. She wanted to be there. Raw was in Massachusetts on Monday. So it seems like she came during the weekend. She loves horror movies. She loves heavy metal. She went to the show, just hung around. And when we went to dinner, we saw her coming out of a hotel and getting into a car. Somebody had picked her up at the hotel. And so we knew she was going to the concert. So then Saturday night, we went to the concert after dinner. And, you know, Dayseeker played. They were kick-ass. Then Ice Nine Kills came on, tore it up. And all of a sudden, I'm filming, filming. For Ice Nine Kills, we're getting pretty close to the stage. And then Art comes out. And they do this little skit where Ria Ripley comes out on stage during a work of art, the Ice Nine Kills song. And they start kind of like fighting, like wrestling, basically like fake fighting. Then Art knocks her down and he cuts her. And they do this little skit where he kills her. And that was like her dream. She's like, I always wanted to be killed by Art the Clown. It kind of happened here, which again is another thing that's telling me she's probably going to be in the next movie. Because after this, I was following on socials, all these, the Ice Nine Kills, Terrifier crew, all these people, they all went out to dinner after with Ria, and hanging out and stuff like that. So she's definitely in with that horror crew for sure. So when I got done from the convention, as I'm walking back to my car, I take that footage of Ria Ripley coming on stage with Art the Clown and I post it on social media. And it friggin' hit 1 million views on TikTok. And a lot of sites shared it because I know it's the same footage. But then it started coming out because people had it from all angles. They had pictures and stuff like that. So now you're getting it from all over the place. But it was just wild to think that it really has to do, social media is kind of like right place, right time. Like it was something only a certain amount of people saw. People knew Ria Ripley wanted to get involved with the Terrifier stuff. People like Ice Nine Kills. So you bring those worlds together in this little stunt they pulled, which again, I was a little bit nervous posting it because I didn't even know if it was WWE approved or if she was going to get in trouble for doing this. I mean, what if she would have got hurt, right? WWE is weird like that. But I knew that this footage was going to get out. No question. There was even professional photographers taking the pictures. So they, that was going to be on the Silver Scream Con websites and everything. So I posted it and it went crazy on TikTok. Which again is pretty cool. But the whole thing, again, I think it's a fun time, man. I mean, not even just to go to see like-minded people, to meet other creators, to see people who watch the show that live local. I mean, all of that, I think, is the best part of going to conventions for me at this point. There was a point in time where I was kind of getting sick of them because I'm like, I've got all these autographs. It's gotten expensive. But to me now, the social aspect and for me to meet people in person that maybe watch the channel, that's like my favorite part of this stuff now. Is to meet these people that, love the show. And again, you can hang out with other people who are in the community and hang out with people who are doing content creators and stuff. So super, super cool. It was fun. I'm happy for those guys. I know some people are like, oh, I hate when conventions are too packed. I hear you. But I gotta respect the fact that they took something from nothing and created something very big and very special for this area around here, especially when it comes to horror, especially when it comes to heavy metal. And, they took the whole thing, like I said, from Rock and Shock. You got horror convention during the day, heavy metal concert at night. That's what Rock and Shock used to do. That's what Silver Scream's doing. And you've always got Ice Nine Kills headlining because they're the ones who are putting this event on. So again, amazing weekend. Thank you to everybody who I hung out with, PVD Horror, Steelbook Crew, Chris McGibbon, Clap, like super cool hanging out with everybody. But I'm going to get back to the chat. Actually, how about this? I'll do my little montage video. You guys can check it out. If you have any questions or anything after that, I'll come back. I'll answer questions with you guys and I'll give you a little heads up on a giveaway. How's that? All right. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. I'm going to share this. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work. Let me see. Boom. All right. Again, this is about 3 minutes long. If you guys want to check it out, enjoy it.
can't handle the nightmare. Should we be more fortunate? Every detail.
Yo. All right, guys, I hope you liked that. It was just a little montage of the event with some of the footage that I got. Obviously, I didn't want to put the audio in there because I didn't know if it was going to get flagged or anything like that. But yeah, as you can see, it was packed. It was packed in there. Had some pictures with some people, like I said. But you didn't see. I didn't talk about that. If you saw like the little like Elm Street house and the art with the shades on, and then you saw like that all white. So they have this thing called like the Ice Nine Kills Museum, where each one of their music videos kind of represents a different horror movie. So they always have like, an American Psycho one where they had like a fake Patrick Bateman house or condo or apartment. Then you had the front of so they had all these different areas that were set up from the music video that you guys could take pictures in. So like, it's pretty cool. So you can go to like this one area where you can take pictures at like in Patrick Bateman's apartment, and then you can take a picture in front of like the Elm Street door. So they have all this different stuff set up, which is really cool as well. And then they do panels and stuff like that. So that's what that little clip was. If you saw like little like couches and doorways and stuff. So they have like these little things set up for just doing different photo ops and pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean that was kind of the weekend that I just talked about here. Now let me get back to the chat, answer you guys' questions. Let's hang out a little bit. Let me see. Mike Wolf says, I feel like at a convention, the vendors are more important than the celebrity guests. Hurricane had awesome vendors this year. Yeah, I agree with the vendors, and I felt that way about the later years of Rock and Shock. I felt like the same thing. The vendor side of it from Rock and Shock aspect was very weak. Back when they first started, there was so many bigger companies back then. I don't know why. I don't know if they like are, if they do this one, they don't want to do this one, right? Monster Mania has great vendors. Chiller Theater, which I'm going to in October, does not have great vendors. They do have Vinegar Syndrome still, which is a huge one. I hope they still have them there because they could use another whole rehash of vendors. They're not that strong either. I kind of wish I went to Terracon now, because I do think the vendors are important. What's up, Chris? Movie Misfit says, saw Tom Savini last year at a con. He was just off-putting all night, so I focus on other people. Still love his work. Yeah, I mean, that's usually kind of how it goes. Robert says, do you usually go to conventions by yourself? I've been nervous to go myself. I just haven't gone to any of them. The answer now is kind of yes. So before the YouTube thing, when I would just go to conventions as a fan, I would always go with somebody. I had a friend that went with me almost every time. Other friends would go with me every time. But, people have things going on. They have other lives. And I was supposed to go with my buddy, and he bailed on me at the last second, which, kind of sucked. But, that was a bummer because, I was hoping to have someone like him there. So then, when I'm doing footage, like, he can take a picture of me or video me doing something, because I don't like to walk around like this too much. And it's just hard. It's harder to do it that way. So if I had somebody there with me all the time, I could have them, do some of that stuff for me. So it was just me. But like I said, now I don't care going by myself, because doing the channel and meeting people who watch the channel and other content creators that I know are going to be there, I'll always find someone or a few people that I can hang out with. So that I don't mind anymore. If this was, pre-YouTube, me just going to a convention by myself, I probably wouldn't have. But now I have I'm fine with it. But Chiller Theater, when I go to the Air or if I go anywhere in New Jersey, I'm meeting up with all my buddies from the East Coast. We kind of make that as a meeting ground. So that's always like a meetup. But yeah, I did go technically by myself, but I hung out with people all day long, had lunch with them, went to the concert with Brandon from PVD Horror. So me and him went to the concert together. Nick was at the concert. So I mean, there was people at the concert that I knew. Him and I got dinner, and then we went to the concert. So Dave from PVD Horror went home. A lot of people didn't go to the show. Dave Durant didn't go to the show. So yeah, I mean, there's always people, I mean, that I'll know now. So it's kind of easier nowadays. Rizzi said the highlight was to meeting Matthew Lillard. Very, very cool. I met Matthew Lillard at Rhode Island Comic-Con like years ago, him and Skeet, and they didn't have that big of a line. And now Lillard was capped. Like, they had to cut it off. Did you pre-order Pee-wee? I didn't pre-order it. I'll buy it. But man, fucking Criterion and their artwork is terrible. What a shitty art cover for freaking Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Out of anything they could have done, Jesus, I have a poster by Matt Ryan Tobin that would have been a perfect cover if they weren't going to just do the poster. That thing sucks. Criterion, love them or hate them, guys. Their artwork on their editions is freaking terrible. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know if it's trying to be too artsy, but to me, it looks very lame. Yeah, you would think so. You would think that the West Coast would have more. Cross does have a film. I don't know what it's called. Let me see. Don't get why you release Cross when you I agree. It makes zero sense to me. I don't know if they considered him a threat of some kind, because they weren't technically trying to get him over. He was kind of doing it naturally, which, in my opinion, if someone gets over naturally, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, you want to push this guy, because that's not a quality that many people can do. So I totally agree. Thanks, man. Nice, man. Yeah, dude, I just kind of decided to go live tonight. I needed to do this video, so I said, hey, now's the time. Thanks for being here, man. Go check out KB Loves Movies. Yeah, it was tough because there was a lot of people. I know what I think it is. You know why I feel like it feels so cramped? Because I said that to my friends. I'm like, why didn't Rock and Shock feel this tight? It's because Rock and Shock never had the photo ops. So there's a whole area now near where the autographs are that they're doing photo ops. That takes up half the floor. So imagine if that was gone and the celebrities spread all the way around. That's why Rock and Shock seemed so much more spacious, because now with the photo op situation, that takes up a lot of floor space. Um, what's so funny? What's so funny, Mel? Why doesn't everybody wish Mel a happy birthday right now? Because it's her birthday. So if she wants something to laugh at, it can be that. So give Mel over at My Killer Podcast a nice happy birthday on this stream for me, will you? Bro, you were there too. You were there too. Oh my God. She made fun of us for not walking. She was there too. See, we did watch her all the way to her car. I told her the story and she kind of laughed. Um, yeah, man, that's the way to do it, dude. Get them done. Get them done. Hey, listen, we're not going to talk about Scout right now. Oh my God, Linnea is so small, man. So small. Yeah, he was the bootleg guy. I mean, he had no competition, man. So hopefully he did good. Yes, I was talking about Ria Ripley. I 100% think she's in. I mean, at this point. Yes. What's up, dude? I brought you up earlier. I said I met a guy, Jordan, who watches the show. Thanks for coming in, man. If you're still hanging around here, I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying hi. Hope you had a great time, man. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I really need to get back to Monster Mania. It's been a while. The concert was great. The concert was great. What up, Jack? Let's see. They can be pricey, man, for sure. Actually, they 100% can be pricey. It's crazy. Like I feel like I didn't get anything, but I spent money, so I don't know what the hell happened. Um, yeah, it's expensive. I recommend people saving up to go to these conventions. Saving up. If there was physical media there, it would have been even worse. I don't even know what this picture is. That's brutal. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not nice. Leave Slip alone. There is no Kenny Company release soon. I know for a fact. You didn't even know there was a concert? Come on, brother. Oh my God. Brutal. Well, now I see it. Thanks a lot. Jesus. You guys are the worst. Who did that? I hope so too. See? Yeah, Pee Wee's coming out from Criterion in 4K. Look at this. That's again, that's what I think is going to happen. They're going to try to kind of back them into a corner. And I think another reason too was they lowballed him, I think. And I also don't think they gave his wife a contract. And I know that was super important to him. So yeah, I think they're gonna probably do that with a lot of these guys because they're gonna try to push them out and be like, well, where are you gonna go? AEW doesn't have money to pick up all these guys. They're paying their guys too much money. I know, I know, I know. I didn't see your post, man. I'm sorry, man. But guys, let's talk about this. Bro, I can't even give this away. I've been trying to give this away for 2 weeks. This Rumpelstiltskin Walmart exclusive from TerraVision. What the hell's going on here? This is wild. So 2 times I did a giveaway and the winner's never got a hold of me. Which means they didn't watch the show. Or they didn't watch all the way to the end. But anyway. Oh, there we go. There we go. My boys. Man, it was awesome catching up with you guys, dude. It was great hanging. I don't know which one of you this is right now. But always a pleasure. Thank you, thank you. And we will definitely be chilling soon. Go check out PVD Horror on all social media platforms. Check them out. So here's the deal. I'm going to do a giveaway for this. I got 2 giveaways. I'm going to do a giveaway for this again, which means you have to show up to the live shows for the next couple, for the next time I'm live, show up. So I'm going to do a spin the wheel, make a deal with this. But from now until I go live next, if you want to be entered to win this, you have to share any YouTube video of mine to any social media platform with a link to the video. Okay, I'm trying to grow the Rad Pack or the Rad channel, the Rad fam. And if you do that, you have to tag me so I know you did it. And then I enter you in the giveaway. Okay. So do that. And you are entered in from now until the next time I'm live. The next time I'm live, I'm going to give this away. Okay. So just a heads up on that. That's number 1. Number 2, I talked about this before, but I'm going to keep going with it for now. A new episode of the Anchor Bay Archives podcast just debuted on the audio platforms. Go find us at Apple Podcasts. We talk about the year 1997. That's when Anchor Bay started to move their stuff to DVD. So we talk about that. We talk about what was going on in the world in 1997, where we were in 1997. But it's a cool episode. As of right now, it's not on any video. I probably will put it on my members only. If you're a member of the channel, you'll get the full video versions of the podcast. I didn't edit it and put it out on the channel for free on the video. I'll probably just throw in the members, but you can listen to it. But guys, if you go to Anchor Bay Archives on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go to Apple and I want you to leave a review. Okay. At the end of the month, all the reviews I'm going to tally up and I'm going to give away this poster. It's not this. This poster in here is the Devin Whitehead Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 poster from Scream Factory, the exclusive one. So if you guys want a chance to win that poster, just all you got to do is just give us a review on Apple Podcast at the Anchor Bay Archives. Make sure you're following us over there. Listen to the newest episode. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm not going to spin the wheel today. I'm going to give you guys another opportunity. Maybe that's why. Maybe everybody got the box set, so nobody cares. Yes, if you already shared a video and you're in the wheel, you stay in there. Take you back to 97. I totally agree. So we talk about that. So definitely go listen to it. And again, maybe I'll put it up on this channel as a video version. I have to see. Hossa G fam. We're working on it. We're working on it. But I appreciate you guys being here tonight, listening to me ramble, listen to me talk about Silver Scream Con 2025. Guys, there's always so much going on here. It's spooky season, so the content is going to be pouring out. There'll be collabs. So a week from tomorrow, next Wednesday, there'll be a live show with the start of one of my themes for spooky season this year on the channel, and it's called It's a Hammer Halloween. So next Wednesday night will be the beginning of a Hammer Halloween 2025. There'll be a live show with Daniel from the Cobwebs channel. He's going to come on here live with me, and he loves himself Hammer horror. I need to dig deeper into Hammer horror. We've talked about this plenty of times. So my goal is for the month of October is to dig deeper into more Hammer films that I have not seen. So he's going to bring me a list of 10 movies that I need to watch in October. Some of his favorites when it comes to Hammer horror. He's going to bring the list to the table. We're going to talk about it. He's going to list the ones I need to track down. I'm going to watch them in October. And at the end of October, I'm going to do a video where I talk all about the 10 that he told me to watch. And I'm going to rank them all for you guys. So that is going to be one of the themes for the channel, is a Hammer Halloween this October. You can also keep your eyes open for another theme on Instagram at Born2beRad and on YouTube. And that's going to be Monster Radness. So you guys can keep your eyes posted for that as well. I just dropped a video yesterday talking about 5 DVDs that were banned, recalled, and sought after by collectors. If you haven't checked that video out, go check it out. It's a short one. It's about, I think it's under 10 minutes. But I talk about 5 DVD releases that were taken off the shelves. And if you're a DVD horror completist and you want to track some of these down, go check out that video. Let me see what you guys are saying really quick. Eli Ross attorney, what am I thinking about Saudi going to Saudi? I don't know. I think my biggest issue with it is that they want specific matches that just don't really make sense. And I don't want that to really screw up what WrestleMania should be. And that's kind of like closing a chapter on the year to start a new chapter. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. But yeah, guys, there's a lot going on over here on the channel. Like I said, please share videos, tag me in it. You'll be entered in the giveaway. Like the stream if you're checking this out still. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like what we talked about today, subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the videos. One of my biggest videos is my room tour videos. I have 2 parts. There's going to be an updated room tour video coming this year, probably December. So you guys can check that out as well. But guys, I got a couple things coming. I've got a creep show video I'm editing. That should be out probably this week. What else do I got going on? Oh, I got a list video. Looking at my stuff right here. And like I said, I'm going to try to go live this weekend and showcase or give away this Rumpelstiltskin. And yeah, thanks, A-Dub. Everybody hit that like on the way out. Thank you guys for being here. This is Garrett at Born2beRad. And like always, stay